Bienvenue, bienvenue, bienvenue Macédoine du Nord. Donc peut-être vous avez vu la vidéo que j'ai postée la semaine dernière, mais hier je suis parti faire un trip en dehors de la ville, de la capitale. Donc la capitale s'appelle Skopje, quelque chose comme ça. Et donc super tour. La Macédoine du Nord, c'est vraiment pas cher, vraiment pas cher. Le trip que j'ai payé hier, il a duré à peu près 6-7 heures. On est allé visiter 2-3 points en dehors de la ville, etc. Je crois que j'ai payé ça 23 €. Donc avec un petit déjeuner inclus. Donc vraiment super plan. Quoi d'autre? Donc aujourd'hui j'ai un tour où on va se balader en ville avec un guide. Donc c'est plus pour l'histoire vraiment locale de la capitale, du pays, etc. Et surtout vraiment pour visiter les points les plus importants dans la ville. Donc là il est actuellement 10 h du matin à peu près. J'ai encore du temps parce que le tour est à 13 h. Mais je voulais quand même bouger un peu, me balader un petit peu, j'ai pas envie de rester enfermé. Surtout que voilà le temps qu'il fait, le ciel super bleu, il fait super beau. Donc du coup voilà. On va se balader, on va voir et ça va être cool quoi. Ça va être cool. Okay, now it's Ok. Ok. Ok, donc bon, c'était bizarre. On va continuer. Voilà ce que nous avons pour le petit déjeuner. Le café turc, donc Turkish coffee. Ici nous avons quelque chose qui s'appelle le taratur. Pareil, je vais vous le mettre à l'écran. C'est un genre de... ça ressemble un peu au tzatziki grec. Mais sauf que celui-là est quand même bien plus solide. Et c'est donc pour ça que ça vient directement avec une fourchette. Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Tiens, le café turc parce qu'en fait il y a tout le dépôt au fond de la tasse. Par exemple, si on regarde là, si je le penche, il y a une partie qui est liquide, qui bouge, mais il y a la partie toute noire en fait. C'est vraiment tout le dépôt du café qui reste là. Donc comme on peut voir ici, celui-ci de bateau est un peu différent, il est en fonctionnement. Bon, il y a des gens là sur la terrasse, on peut dire. Donc bar, restaurant, très joli, il y a des petites fleurs. Il y a un drapeau italien là-bas qui vole. Donc j'ai entendu pas mal d'Italiens parler dans la rue aussi dans cette zone. Donc je sais pas trop, mais voilà quoi. Celui-là il a l'air plutôt pas mal quoi, il est plutôt joli. Bon, il faut que je sois honnête. Regardez cette qualité de vie. Regardez cette qualité de vie. Les gens ils se promènent. Les gens ils font du vélo en famille. Ils passent, ils se baladent. Je suis quand même vachement surpris. Vachement surpris. Quand on parle des Balkans, les Balkans on se réfère souvent à des pays vraiment pauvres. L'ancienne Union soviétique, yougoslave, etc. Regardez. Alors bien sûr, c'est pas le luxe. Les salaires restent très bas, on est en dehors de l'Europe, les Balkans, etc. Mais regardez cette qualité de vie, quoi. Incroyable. J'aurais jamais cru, franchement, j'aurais jamais cru. Sur la place centrale, la place principale de la capitale. Donc à traduire le nom de ce que j'ai vu sur Google Maps, Ça s'appelle simplement la place de Macédoine. Voilà, j'hallucine un peu sur la tranquillité, la qualité de vie. Bon, d'un point de vue touristique, hein, bien sûr, hein, toujours, mais je suis quand même surpris, quoi. Je suis quand même surpris. Cette fontaine est vraiment énorme.
Names go be the Disneyland and the Las Vegas of the Balkans. Oh, and you know, and that's not quite a compliment, isn't it? Disneyland of the Balkans. So you look at this facade is all built off, cracked up, and look at the roof. You see the holes in the roof?
Yep.
Whole sections are missing from the roof, and that's because it's made of plaster, drywall, gypsum boards, in hueso. You know hueso? Yeah? This is the new part of the city, and back in the past, floods, because they have built these embankments and levees on the river with the money from the United Nations back in the 1960s. And exactly 153 years, those them from Mercedes, Volvo, Renault, big corruption scandal it was. Okay, you see that arch? That looks like the one in
Paris.
Correct. But that's not l'Étoile, that's not Arc de Triomphe, this is not Champs-Élysées, Avenue du Kléber, Feu Charles de Gaulle, not a faux pas. You see that quadriga, the 4 horses? Yeah, that looks like the one in
Berlin.
Richtig, yes, the Brandenburg Gate. So usually Americans and the Southern Europeans, they've never heard about these word kitchen, right? So at this point they say, aha, now we know what kitsch is. So that you see the red star, the communist symbol, and now we live in the Third Republic, which was established on September 8, 1991. After breaking away from Yugoslavia without the shot being fired. We're the hippies of the Balkans, the hobbits and the hippies, as I said, peaceful lads. No war for us. Huh?
You want Rakia?
No, Rakia, that's Linda. She will be fine. Yeah.
Okay. No, I just thought that she was third.
Huh?
Is she yours? Or?
No, she's a straight. She's yeah.
Does she always follow you around?
Yeah, she's the most famous dog in United States from Macedonia. Back in the beginning of this, the beginning of December, there was this girl from Kalamazoo, you know, in Michigan. Yeah. So she made a video on TikTok, went viral, 5 million views. The city is not very good, and the healthcare system is totally kaput, broken. Okay. Now let me tell you something about this mini Brandenburg. So we have the quadriga. The 4 horses like in Berlin, but without the chariot. That's too complex for us,
35 years
in
Holland.
Yeah, he's a restaurateur par excellence.
But now I'm here 20 years and a 20-year boy, and now I am 77 years.
Yeah, 77. You see,
And,
nombre español, Plaza de Toros. Plaza de Toros. Bueno, bonito y barato comida. It's called the Bridge of Arts, but I call it the Bridge of Misogyny, because there's not a single female statue on this bridge. The so-called macho bridge. Puente Machista, Balkan Bridge.
Looks like Paris almost.
Yeah. Yeah. So after this earthquake of '63, the best of the world architects have advised the city fathers not to build 100 meters from the bank of the river inland, because the soil is too porous and sandy and it cannot withstand heavy construction. But they've done it. So this is the Ministry for Foreign Affairs building. This strange looking rotunda, which looks like Star Wars, Planet Nebu, Queen Amictalis Palace. This is the stage Utopia. The one in Pisa in Italy is straightening up. This one's tilting. It's good for tourism though. Yeah. All right, now that we have crossed the river through this Charles Bridge lookalike in Prague, in the Czech Republic, we're going now to Budapest in Hungary, where we have two of these colonnades on the Square of Heroes in central Budapest. And by looking at the windows of these prosecutor's office building, you can see how popular they are. It's all pelted with eggs. And you can check out these red letters beneath. They try to scrub them off. It says justice for the victims, because people are really fed up with the level of criminality of the society. That's why we have this brain drain. 40+% of the locals gone abroad, the best and the brightest. All right, we have some ladies here for a change. These are the 9 Greek sisters, you know, the Muses, Nuevas Hermanas, Musas. That's Greek mythology again. And by looking at the mold, you can see that it is a fake marble. These pillars are made of concrete, and the statues are built with the Raji-Daji material. Yeah. If you take a look at the ceiling, you can see that it is decomposing. Debris are falling from the ceiling, and that's literally the meaning of the Latin word corruptio, which means to rot away. So we literally have a corruption here at full display. And this corruption is the root cause of all the evil in the world. Prosperous societies, empires have collapsed. Some good news now, because everything seems to be depressing. Yeah, Maxim, you can have a video with the knock. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, welcome. Okay. Of Olympia being 8 months pregnant, she's cuddling, hugging, breastfeeding young Alexander. But if you see closely at the statues, you'll see that they're eaten by corrosion. You see the rust everywhere? So it's a fake bronze, fake marble, but the water is original. We have a beautiful tap water, and it's safe to drink the tap water. Agua y potable. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is what you eat and drink. We have one of the best organic food in the world. We have a beautiful... the north, from the Black Mountain in the north, and all these inns and hammams were in a straight line with that Turkish version called Çarşı. Çarşı. Yeah, you see that sign over there? Çarşı donor? Yeah, you understand the donor part? Yeah? Okay. So, the Ottoman Empire was divided 2 ways. The Asian part was called really polished it up. All right, we know all about this Silk Road, right? Okay. So yeah, this Silk Road, of course, it was starting in China, going through these deserts of Gobi, Taklamakan, Kizilkum, Karakum, entering Uzbekistan, Samarkand and Bukhara, and then it was split in two ways. The northern route of the Silk Road was going above the Caspian and the Black Sea, through Bucharest in Romania, to Sarajevo, and Skopje was on the southern route, which was going through
So Maxime, you're doing like a tour des Balkans or a tour des Macédoine?
Yes, I'm going around. I've been to Albania before. I've been to Slovakia. Now Macedonia. Tomorrow. It's 1 month from
Yeah.
today.
Okay. Have you been to Lac du Ohrid?
No.
No, to the Ohrid Lake. That's the
No,
most beautiful
no.
place in the Balkans. Okay, next time.
Next time, yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to Kosovo. And then after.
Go to prison. Skip
yeah.
Pristina. Pristina is like a favela.
And then after I'm going to Sofia, to Bulgaria.
Sofia.
Yeah.
Bulgaria. Bulgarie.
Yeah, so it will be in 1 month doing
that's
everything.
nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
All right, do you remember that Saladu Macedon War in 1944 by the US and the British Air Force? Because the German Wehrmacht was stationed here. And what was not destroyed by the Allied bombs was destroyed by this earthquake of 63. So I remember as a kid, some of the steps are, the stones are chipped away.
Damn, this one is big.
Looks like a bear.
Yeah, it's so big.
What?
There is a big dog over there, like
yeah.
the same species almost, but very,
Yeah.
way bigger.
Chilling out in
Yeah.
the shade. Yeah.
Yeah, watch the steps, please. Yeah. Okay, so Planina. That means colorful mountain in our language, because that mountain is changing colors throughout the seasons. It's white, green, yellow, brown. South Mountain Vodno. Voda in Slavic languages means water, because that mountain is like a sponge. It collects 1943, 7,144 of the Macedonian Jews were rounded up by the Bulgarians and were sent to the concentration camps of Treblinka and Majdanek in nowadays Poland. That's why on the place of the old Jewish residential quarter, we have the Holocaust Museum now. That great building by the church. Yeah, Pedro?
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Thank you. Now I understand.
Yeah. All right. Now the next stop is the real location of Mother Teresa's house. In the meantime, yes, questions, ask me anything you want to know. Use me. Yeah.
Where'd you live in Asia?
Sorry? Uzbekistan and Afghanistan. In Canada, our old trade port. During freedom, with these lock caps, we had these lock cap trees from Halliburton for the subcontraction.
It's up again. Hi.
Yes, sir.
Fuimos en carro y pasamos el día, hicimos un tour así caminando y entonces nos manejamos hasta Skopje antes de llegar.
Enter. Yeah. So the Paul has claimed he was gold.
Ah, okay.
2 years ago they introduced the euro.
Yeah.
They put him on the 50-cent euro.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy. And he's famous for this Codex Justinianum, Corpus Juris Civilis. That was a set of laws of the Byzantine Empire. And he was born 12 miles south from here in the town called Tauresi. But that town is still not excavated. Only a small fraction is. So instead of excavating the real stuff, we're building fake stuff all